The story opens with soft suburban sounds, crickets, wind, a dog barking in the distance. The camera pans across Cedar Street, a perfect American cul-de-sac lined with trimmed lawns and flickering porch lights. A moving truck pulls up in front of house number 17, where Mark and Lisa Holloway, a couple in their early 30s, step out with their 8-year-old daughter Mia. The neighbors watch silently from their windows, no greetings, no smiles, just quiet observation. As the family settles in, the old woman next door, Mrs. Hargrove, whispers a warning. Keep your lights on after midnight, and if someone knocks, don't answer. Mark laughs it off as superstition, but that night, he notices something strange. At exactly 12 a.m., every porch light on the street flickers and goes dark for 1 minute, then comes back on. The neighborhood returns to silence, but in the faint reflection of their window, Mia whispers, "Daddy, there's someone standing outside." The next night, the Holloways try to sleep early, but at midnight, the power cuts again, this time for longer. A deep silence settles, so still that even the crickets stop. Then, knock, knock, knock. 3 slow knocks echo from the front door. Mark grabs a flashlight, looks through the peephole, no one there. When the lights return, he finds muddy footprints leading up to the door, but none going back. The next morning, Lisa finds a strange note tucked under the mat. "You heard me. Don't open next time." She confronts the neighbors, but they all avoid eye contact. Mrs. Hargrove tells her, it's been happening for 50 years. No one talks about it. Those who answer don't live to warn the rest. Determined to prove it's all just hysteria, Mark visits the town records office. He discovers that Cedar Street used to be part of the old Granger Cemetery, relocated in 1972 after a flood destroyed the area. But the headstones were moved, not the bodies. He also finds police reports. Every decade, a family disappears without a trace, always from house number 17, the one they just moved into. When Mark returns home, he finds Mia staring blankly at the living room TV, static flickering on the screen. She whispers, "He says he used to live here." Mark asks, "Who, honey?" She answers, "The man with no eyes." At midnight, the lights flicker again. Lisa clutches Mia tightly as Mark watches the front door through the peephole. Outside, a tall, thin silhouette stands motionless at the end of their driveway, head tilted, as if listening. Suddenly, every porch light on Cedar Street goes out, one by one, until the street is swallowed by darkness. The knocking begins again. Knock. 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 Then a whisper through the mail slot. "It's your turn, number 17. The doorknob rattles violently. The air turns ice cold. Mark yells for the thing to go away, but Mia begins walking toward the door, trance-like. Her voice shifts, deeper, older. "He's cold, he just wants to come in." Mark grabs Mia, locking her in the back room with Lisa. He calls the police, but every number rings to static. Through the window, he sees the street filled with shadows moving between houses, dozens of them, pale and hollow, drifting door to door. Each knock echoes louder, until it sounds like the entire neighborhood is knocking in unison. Suddenly, the house shakes. The lights explode. The front door slowly creaks open by itself. In the doorway stands the man with no eyes, his face smooth like melted wax, his grin stretching unnaturally wide. He steps inside, whispering, "You left the light off too long." Mark swings a baseball bat, it passes straight through. The entity lunges, and the sound cuts out. Only the faint echo of knocking remains. Morning sunlight fills Cedar Street. The houses stand perfectly still, quiet as always. A moving truck pulls up to number 17. A new family steps out, smiling and chatting as they unload boxes. The old, "For sale" sign sways in the breeze. Across the street, Mrs. Hargrove watches from her window, clutching a rosary. At exactly noon, a worker from the truck pauses, pointing to something carved faintly into the doorframe. "Don't open when they knock." That night, As the family settles in, the on-air sign of the local radio flickers to life for the first time in years. A calm, hollow voice whispers over the static. Midnight on Cedar Street, and the knocking begins again.